Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the Worst EX's Wheel. Sadly, I say sadly, my sister's probably very happy this one's ending. Um,
We
this
have
is
too many bloody wheels.
We only have three, it's not that bad. I say we only have three, there's technically four, but you haven't seen the fourth one yet. That's for,
Oh my
um,
gosh. Can we just...
that's, this is going to be finished, don't worry, but anyway. Obviously, this is the series where we take a look at some of the worst EXs ever printed, where it's not even fair to put them on the Wheel of Pain, they're that bad. And today we are finishing up with Lucario EX from Stellar Crown and Scream Tail EX from Twilight Masquerade. Two cards, one of which has a very funky first attack, and the other one has just terrible stats, but at least it has Premium Power Pro behind it, I guess. And yeah, we're going to see who spins what, to be honest, because that is technically relevant. So, of course, my sister did lose the last episode of Sibling Sunday, so would you like to go first or second?
Well, it's a 50-50 shot on this one, isn't it? So,
Yeah, but
know.
I can always click it when the arrow reaches one of the, like one of the half bits
Nah,
in the middle.
I ain't gonna cheese it like that. I'm happy to take the first Pokemon.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's spin. And looks like you are playing Lucario.
Okay.
From Stellar Crown, number
Stellar
82.
Crown. Yep. So this is Lucario EX 250 HP. It does for a fighting and a colorless low kick for 50. Cheers. And for 2 fighting and a colorless Aurora Knuckle for 120. And it is weak to psychic. So I think we can see where this one's going to go today.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, is Scream Tail ain't much better. And because we're not going to waste anyone's time, we're not going to bother spinning the wheel. But there's the number there, Scream Tail EX Twilight Masquerade number 94.
Yes, I've somehow pulled a full art of this on live. So, Scream Tail EX, 190 HP basic psychic type, so, you know. For the first attack, it's called Scream, and it says that you can use this attack only if you go second and only during your first turn. Your opponent can't play any supports from their hand during their next turn. And then for a psychic and 2 colorless, it does crunch for 120, and you get to discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And another factor that we should point out is that Scream Tail is also resistant to fighting. So this is not going to be good for me.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a fun one for you, I think. But anyway, we're going to go off and make our decks as per normal, and we'll see you shortly. Our first game, sorry I had a bit of a recording delay there. We are, well, one of us has actually had like a brief test, and I do mean like 10 seconds, and that was me. The other of us has not.
I'm just sending it. Like, yeah, I don't know what I can do to make this card good. Yeah, see, I would like to go first.
Fun enough, I wanted the Lucario as, like, I wanted to play that, but sadly, I just didn't get it. Well, this is actually kind of bad as an opening hand. I'll start it. I'll start this.
Cool.
I don't have an energy to use Scream, sadly. As much as that would be funny.
Yeah.
Come on, top deck of energy so I can
you'll
use
top
Scream.
Deck it.
I did not. Bench of fan call. We'll grab you. Bench. Play the Puffin just to thin it. Yeah, that's fine. That's in there, that's good. Energy count looks fine. Sadly, it's just a pass.
Okie dokie. Well, there's not much going on my side. Bench Monkey Dory.
The feeling that would be in there.
There we'll go. PPP. Just so that we can do 30.
Well, whatever works, I guess. So I can no longer use Scream, sadly, folks. That, however, I can use. Hello, Serrano. We'll grab 2 teal masks and a Latias. I'll bench the teal. Noctowl for Jewel Seeker. I'll take a Crispin for next turn. And an area 0, so I can expand my bench. So we'll do that. That. 3 into a fan. Pass.
Okay.
I can't really do a lot right now.
Nor can I. I'll just play Crispin just to thin some energy out.
Okay, yeah. You can accelerate and stuff for nothing.
Yeah, I can't swing.
Oh yeah, you can't use it. Yeah,
text.
Yeah, I've just realised.
Yeah, I'm just going to attach return to the Monkey Dory, and that's it.
Okay, let's see what I can do. That's pretty good. Crispin. We'll take the grass to hand. Psychic to the fresh one. Teal Dance. Teal Dance. That's pretty good. Energy switch to the Scream Tail. Do I want to reveal that? Not really. I will attach to the Scream Tail. Re-retreat. And we will crunch for 240 damage because of weakness. And take out the Riolu. Obviously the discard effect happens before the Pokemon is knocked out, but anyway. Let's see what you got for me.
Well, nothing, because I'm not drawing anything.
Stab for nothing.
I'll just Night Stretcher back the Riolu.
Yep.
And then pass.
Okay. Let's see what we get off the top. Nothing particularly useful, but it's completely fine. I don't really want to reveal this, so I'm just going to crunch. Take another prize card. That's handy. That's handy dandy. Yeah, I really wanted to use Scream, so I'm actually playing a higher energy count than what I'd normally do for this sort of deck, but it's fine.
Alright.
I really wanted to just Scream you. Lana, nice. I like to see that.
Bench Riolu, pass.
Not a touch.
No.
Fair enough. Crispin?
I have my reasons.
Yeah, fair enough. Take you. Give that to you. Teal Dance. Okay, that's pretty good. Airballoon and Noctowl just in case you get any funny business. Should I attack with my meme attacker? Or my meme backup attacker? It's not relevant in this matchup because I just chucked it in for the memes. Let's do it. I'll throw down Iron Leaves and Rapid Veneer. I chucked this in for a joke, I'll be honest. And Prism Edge 180. Obviously, Iron Leaves is not relevant in this matchup, but I just wanted to play the funny Rapid Veneer out of nowhere.
Sure.
And well, it's working. I don't do a lot of damage, so I thought I might as well have a an attacker that can utilize energy that's on the board and not take up energy switches.
Yeah.
That was kind of my thought process. Obviously, Iron Leaves cannot attack next turn.
Okay. But, I'm gonna throw down my backup attacker just because.
Okay.
Blood Moon Ursaluna.
Ooh.
And I'll accelerate 2 energy. Attach return. Play Crispin again just to thin some energy.
Not the backup attacker I was expecting, I will admit. But it is actually relevant because I cannot one-shot that.
Street into the Blood Moon Ursaluna. And then we'll swing for 100.
Yeah, I can't actually KO that, so that's actually a problem. Fair enough, Iron Leaves can, but I've already used it. Is that relevant? No. I mean, I can just swing with Scream Tail, it's not a big deal. Do I take out the Ursaluna now, though? I don't think so. I'm going to lost that Riolu. Take it out with Crunch. I'm happy for your Blood Moon to do this.
I promise there are Lucario EXs, and I promise that there's other supporters other than Crispin. Just live doesn't like me. Okay. Well, that would have been nice about 4 turns ago. Pokepad.
Bit late for that.
Very late for that. We'll take the Soul Rock anyway. Bench. Attach to Monkey Dory. Swing for 70 because of resistance.
Yep. Alright. Well, that's not particularly useful. I'll just free retreat into my Iron Leaves. And Prism Edge for 360 because of weakness. My hand's kind of like not doing anything, but given that I'm 5 prizes up, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, we're done.
Yep, alright.
No,
Game 2 it is.
I don't know what went. Oh.
Yeah, that was just a slaughter. A very slow slaughter, because obviously I don't do a lot of damage, but obviously weakness is still a factor here. Even though it's, basics. But obviously with the Blood Moon Ursaluna, I had no idea you was going to play that, so I'm kind of glad I did put an Iron Leaves in here. Anyway, let's go to game 2. And welcome back to game 2. My sisters decided to go first in this game. Not much to really say about Scream Tail. I didn't get to use the funny attack, which I hope I do this game. You want to go first, didn't you? Yeah. Hopefully I get to use it. Maybe that's why she's picking first. For the content.
No, it'd be nice to actually do something other than bench, attach, pass, or play Crispin.
Yeah. Well, you've got a mulligan.
I didn't even see a single Lucario
I'm just gonna.
EX.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna put it on the screen for the folks at home whilst we're doing this mulligan. Amazing attacker, and yeah, not much to really say about that. It's such a dumb card. I'll take my mulligan. That's a really good mulligan. Oh, the 4 retreat cast. Ooh. Oh, that's bad for you. That's really bad for you. You should get the fighting gong. Bench to Riolu. And pass.
What else can I do there?
Right, so we'll go for Body Poffin. Grab a fan and a hoot. I will prize check once I fan. But first, chuck down this. Fan call. We'll go... Ooh, that's bad prizing. Okay. I can live with that, though. Terror Orb. We'll grab another Teal Mask. Crispin. We'll go Grass and a... yeah, we'll go Psychic. It's fine. Psychic to hand. We'll Psychic to the Fan Rotom, I mean. Teal Dance to the Teal Mask. Yeah, it's a shame I'm not going to get to use it, apparently, this game, but it's fine. Air Balloon to Teal Mask, so I don't have to pay retreat. And let's get a cheeky Assault Landing in. It is going to take 3 hits, but it's fine. Let's see what you've got for me.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to get to use Scream Tail's funny attack.
For
That's fine.
Ruins.
That's fine.
Put down Monkey Dory, which obviously gets the damage. I'll attach to Monkey Dory. I think this is fine. I'll Crispin.
Mm-hmm.
Put Dark hand attached to the Ursaluna. Monkey Dory. I'll just put some damage on the Rotom.
Sure.
And that's all I can do.
Alright. See what I get off the top. Not particularly great, but at least I have a Noctowl. Also, I did grab one off the fan. So we will take Crispin, which I have prized 2 Crispins, I believe, which is pretty rough. And I will just take... Did I not put Ultra Balls in this list? Apparently not. If I did do that, that's funny, and I'm gonna just leave it as that. Actually, wouldn't it be better if I grabbed this plus Crispin, and then I can do that, energy switch for turn? Yeah, I can do that instead. So we'll do that instead. So we Brock Scouting for... Can we do that? No, I can't do it this turn, that's fine. We'll grab a Latias and Scream Tail, which is fine. I'll bench the tail. Obviously, it takes 20 because of the risky ruins. I'll energy switch to the Scream Tail. And I'll assault landing.
Okie dokie. See what we can do here. Okay. We're fighting on.
I think I definitely did that turn wrong, but it's fine. I didn't have enough energy to spare, unfortunately.
It's fine. I'm gonna get a Soul Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Bench it and obviously risky ruins.
Yep.
And I will Lilies.
Okay.
Okay, we finally see a Lucario EX.
Woo! We finally see him.
There's not much more else I can do in this situation.
No.
Drenabrain.
Let's see where you put it.
I'm gonna put it on the Scream Tail.
Okay.
And then I will pass.
Okay.
Starting this Blood Moon is very unfortunate.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Noctowl. Jewel Seeker. We'll take Area 0. And we'll take Stump, just so we have it for later. Crispin. Take these 2. Put it on the Scream. Attach to the Scream. Teal Dance. That's fine. Bump for Area 0. Put down the Latias so I can keep the fan around. I mean, I could take this out with a fan. I think it's fine. Because I answered the Soul Rock anyway, so yeah, we'll just take it out with a fan. I'm happy to assault landing here. I don't need to attack the Scream Tail if I don't have to. I'll take a prize card. And a good prize card at that. See, I must admit, this isn't the build... If I had Lucario, this isn't the build I would have gone with. What you've done here.
Well, I don't know what else you can do with it. Like,
I don't know the barbarical approach. Play the new cards and stuff.
I thought about that, but I don't know. A lot of setup. Right. Let me see. Night Stretcher for an energy. Put down Lunatone.
The sad thing is that you'd need to pop
Cycle.
a Power Pro to kill this fan with low kick. That's just sad. Yeah, I don't think I put Ultra Balls on this list. I must have just forgot. Or if they are in the deck, they are sitting pretty in the prize cards.
Play Crispin, but unfortunately, it's just got to go straight to hand now.
Ooh, that's not good. That's really not good for you. Attach.
Attached to the Lucario. I'll Brain. Move 20 off Riolu onto the Scream Tail.
Yep.
And then we will stamp.
Oh, we're both playing Stamp. Interesting. I did lose my damage mod, so I can't kill Lucario now.
Gong, I'll just
Because
grab an energy.
I do have a damage mod.
And that's all I can do because I can't attack.
Well, I technically have 2 damage mods, but I can't really use them right now. Well, I'll bench that. I'll retreat into the Scream Tail, crunch for 240, and remove that energy. Means I can even take this out with a triple stab if I'm feeling brave. Yeah, I'd probably play Bob Oracle just for, you know, the new cards and stuff. But that's just me. I mean, obviously I've done Zygarde today. I've recorded Zygarde today.
Brain. Let's go 30 to the active.
Yep.
And then we'll go Lunar Cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Get another Lucario down.
That's always good. Don't worry, there's no Wellspring in this list.
Attach for turn. Energy switch.
Ooh.
And then we will...
You need double per pro to take this out now. But no, you need
Please.
triple. You need triple. 50 minus 30, 20, 50, 80. Yeah, you need 3. How many have you played?
3?
Yeah, you need 3. Because it's 90. 20, 50, 80, 110.
Well, I'm going to be short then, because I've got 2 in hand.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we'll bench this for next turn instead then. I'll bench Tinglu.
Ooh.
We'll
That's
go...
actually quite a threat to me.
I'm going to go double PP.
Okay, because that is relevant for your Tinglu.
Yeah, and then we'll low kick.
I bet you're quite annoyed at that math.
I mean, this is a really bad matchup nonetheless. Like, you can say that the Scream Tail's terrible, but...
I'll put down the Iron
you've got the
Leaves.
type advantage.
1, 2, 3. Prism Edge.
Wait, how many energy did you move?
2. Well, 3.
On my screen, it's 2.
Oh, it's a bug that tends to happen. I moved 3 because I had 1 on the Teal Mask, 1 on the Fan, and 1 on the Scream Tail. I moved them. It's probably a bug. Don't worry about it. It's PTCG Live being PTCG Live.
Yeah.
Yeah, this Ground Crash is actually quite dangerous for me because you could take 3 prize cards this turn and pick out my stadium, which is not good.
Pokepad just a Fin.
But then again, you moved your Dark Energy off, so you need to find a Dark. But obviously you've just attached for turn, so you can only take 2. But that's good for me. Doesn't mean I'm not setting up another Scream Tail yet, but I could in the future.
Should have probably left. Oh, we could do that actually. Yeah, I think that's probably better. I'm gonna boss the Noctowl.
Okay.
And then Ground Crasher for 0 on the active because of resistance.
30 across a bunch of the board. 30 across a bunch of the board. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Wait, if I hold on. If I discard it because it's discarded your stadium, will it give you the prize cards? Let's find out. Wait, you're not taking prize cards? That's crazy!
Oh.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
I mean, it's taken a lot of energy off the board.
It has, but I'm not too worried about that. Right.
But yeah, that is correct because
Our wondrous patch to the Latias. Energy switch. Retreat. Yeah, I thought that was what would happen, to be honest.
hold on. If you're no, okay, never mind then.
What was I going to say?
I was just no, because obviously it's still showing us 2 energy on my screen.
Oh, there's three on my screen. Don't worry. It's because, like I say, I moved one off the Teal Mass, one off the fan, and then one off the Scream Tail that was damaged. If you move your cursor, you should be able to see 3 energy. You just need to hover where the 3rd energy would be. No.
No, it shows us 2 for me.
Take a screenshot. I want to see it after we finish recording.
Yeah.
That's wild.
now it's showing me the 3rd one. I had to click on the card.
Yeah. That's alright then. Just classic P2's live bug.
Well, let me think. I really don't see how I win. Like,
Down 2 of them. Yeah, I definitely didn't put Ultra Balls on this list. Like an absolute plonker. I really should have. Alright. There's a gong. Yeah, sorry folks, I couldn't get to use the Scream Tail, or the Scream attack. That would have been funny, but just not a chance. I'm playing a decent energy count, but sadly not. Sadly not. Lunar Cycle. Obviously, one thing to bear in mind is I cannot attack with the Sign Leaves. Next turn. There's a Crispin. Dark. Fighting. We're going to get a low kick for 50 maybe? I don't know. Looks like it is the case.
okay. Yeah. The damage
Low kick
output
50.
on this card is awful.
Yep. I still want to play it, though.
Like I say, yeah, but even with the Barbarical, I don't think that would have made much difference.
No, but it'd have been funny, is all I'll say. So I'll grab you and grab you. Do that. Do that. Serrano. Take you. You. Do that. Do that. Re-retreat into Latias. Pass. Because there's Bob Hope for no hope. You're taking out Latias this turn. No way. How many power pros have you popped? You've popped 2. So yeah, you will not be able to take out this Latias. You would need, let's see, so minus 30. 120, 150. You'd need 3 power pros to kill this Latias, and you only have 2 available. That's why it's a safe promotion. Problem is, I'm not really doing a lot, so I could have probably done a Noctowl because my hand's kind of dead. I'm not really doing a lot. Not really doing a lot at all. Because I've used my Noctowls, I've only got a couple of cards available in hand. They're not great. There's a Lilies from the Sis for 8. Okay, that's fine. I can go you, and yeah, we'll go you. That's my last stadium though. That means no Noctowls. But yeah, this is this hand of mine is pretty dead, so I can't really do a lot. Okay. Well, I mean, I can at least get a swing of my Iron Leaves. That's probably my only redeeming merit. I need to hit Lucario so I can actually kill it later. But your Monkey Dory can obviously offset the math. But I'm swinging for 180. I'm not really worried. So yeah, I'm just going to Prism Edge for 180. Yeah, I've still got plenty of energy left. I just need a Crispin. Dark. So with Adrenabrain, you do take out the Iron Leaves. That's fine, I can live with that. I can most definitely live with that. And the Aura Knuckle for the knock.
They did something. I think... Which card was it before where I said that this was the worst card that I'd ever played with?
It was Melmetal EX from Stellar Crown.
I think this might actually take that record now. I'm not having fun with this deck.
I have game. So Night Stretcher, take back a Psychic. Teal Dance, I have to Teal Dance, I'm not BMing. And then Energy Switch. Attach Psychic. Free Retreat. Into the Scream Tail. And we will crunch for 240 and finish the game. Oh, I get to choose which energy I want to discard. Okay, you can get rid of the fighting energy, I guess. And there we go. I had 2 Crispins prized the whole time. I was not expecting to see one, but it was quite tricky, that matchup with energy. But, obviously, weakness, like I said before, in the Teal Mask with Clefairy versus Lucario, or Mega Lucario EX, this format is very... Well, not this format that we do. This format in general is very weakness heavy, and this seems to be the case here as well, because obviously, you know, these cards are terrible, but if you're having, you know, weakness come into factor, can make things really tricky. But anyway, we're going to go to the deck list and see what we cooked, and we'll see in a moment. So here's my list for Scream Tail EX from Twilight Masquerade, and we'll just have a quick discussion before we obviously start this bit. I'm going to be honest with you, and my sister's going to be honest with you, we did not enjoy that match, well, both of those matches. This is a prime example of, like, how the wheels in our series can most definitely bite us. And the worst part was, I didn't even want to play Scream Tail, I wanted to play the Lucario, with, like, Barbaracle and, you know, the Sora Lunatone engine, another backup attacker that's fighting type, you know, I wanted to actually, like, have something fun with that, even if I would lose, because, you know, the Lucario is terrible, the Scream Tail, you know, it does hit for weakness, but the attacks are still terrible, regardless. So yeah, we are going to be taking measures, to obviously, you know, try and make these a bit more fun. Obviously, the Wheel of Pain, it's designed to be that way, so we can't really do anything about that. But any future ideas we do involving wheels, and obviously, you know, the Legendary Deck series, which we've obviously, you know, discussed off camera, we've taken measures to obviously, you know, appease that. But yeah, I must admit this did not feel fun at all. So of course we have a Terror Box-ish approach. I didn't really know how to go about with Scream Tail. You'll notice in the gameplay I did talk about Ultra Ball a lot. I was a plonker and didn't put any in. Don't ask why. I obviously put in Brox and Serrano, which is really nice, but the problem is you're committing your support with a turn for that. And obviously, you know, we have Kieran, Monkey Dory plus a Dark as well, which I didn't end up using this in either of the games, because I either prized Monkey Dory, or I prized the Dark, or I just couldn't get them out. Obviously the Ultra Ball factor would come into play there, same with Pokepad. That was definitely something I could have put in. But obviously I needed enough grass energy to warrant the Teal Mask being at a 3 count. And obviously I needed the Crispins to be at a 4 count, so then we can actually, you know, use the Teal Mask's energy switch to the Scream Tail and obviously get Scream Tail's attack going a bit quicker. Because even though it's a Psychic and 2 colorless, it is very easy to get this attack going. So of course we're playing a 3-3 Hoot Hoot Noctowl line of the Jewel Seeker variety, of course. Obviously, we only have 3 terrors, which in a normal terror box list, that's asking for trouble, as I would say. Um, Obviously, as per the rules, I only really need. Well, I was only really allowed one backup attacker. I went with Iron Leaves because, 120 plus 180, pretty solid punch. And, with Monkey Dory thrown in the mix, that's 330. If obviously I'm getting Monkey Dory. Plus Kieran, that's 360. So even with a Hero's Cape, which obviously neither of us played, that would have been enough to take out a Lucario with obviously, well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because obviously Scream Tail does, um, 120 plus times 2 for weakness, which is 240. So then this would finish up for 420 total damage. But anyway, obviously we played 3 Scream Tails. I did originally play 4, but it's not really I crafted a 4 for 600 credits. I want those 600 credits back, but unfortunately there's no refunds. 3-2 mass, like I said, this is a very dangerous game with a Hoo knockdown engine. It is a very dangerous idea. Obviously, I did debate Cornerstone as an extra Terra Pokemon that isn't really relevant in the matchup because obviously my sister's Pokemon and my Pokemon do not have abilities. But obviously that would have walled the likes of Blood Moon Ursaluna, which would have been pretty good for stalling. But I decided not to do that. So if you are going to make a Terra Box Scream Tail deck, which I heavily suggest not doing so, Lilith Scafferi would get you off to a good start, but also more Terras, because you kind of need them. Of course, 2 Latias, we can attack with Latias in this list, but not really the main purpose of the video, although it is funny to go Eon Blade for 400 damage. Not the entire point, and she's just here for pivot, I should say. But obviously playing 2 is just the best thing to do right now for any Terra Box list. 2 fans, 1 Fez, 1 Monkey, plus a Dark, which we didn't even see, and of course my 1 of Iron Leaves as my backup attacker. Then of course 4 Crispin, 3 Boss, 2 Serrano, 2 Brox, 1 Black Belt. This just gave me an extra option in terms of damage output, and it didn't even come up. 1 Lilies just for a little bit of extra draw, because, well, we don't really draw cards in this deck per se. Obviously we have Teal Mask, Fez, but we don't necessarily draw a lot of cards. A lot of the cards we want are cherry-picked, as I like to call it, using Jewel Seeker. So that's why there's a lot of focus on, the Jewel Seeker, the Black Belt, the Kieran, etc. This is to make it so that Scream Tail can actually take a knockout on the Lucario. The Monkey Dory was there for extra healing, but also damage mod. So I did have 4 spaces, well, technically 3, committed to damage mods, because obviously the Dark Energy can go on a Scream Tail in a pinch. Obviously you would have seen in game 1, I was reluctant to reveal this. Obviously in hindsight, it didn't really matter, because I never really got to use Monkey Dory, but, it could have maybe made a difference if I missed a turn attachment, but anyway. Then of course we have 1 Kieran, which is also a switch card, which is kind of why I went with it. I wish I'd have gone 2 Kieran instead of a Black Belt, but, Black Belt Kieran split. But in the end, it didn't really matter. But anyway, 4 Energy Switch. We play 6 Grass, 3 Psychic, 1 Dark. Obviously, we want to be moving energy around to power the Scream Tails. Put energy on the Monkey Dory to obviously, do his thing. And obviously, Teal Lancing to the Teal Mask Ogopon, and then Energy Switch to the Scream Tail, Fan Rotom. Heck, even the Latias, if you want to swing with Latias, technically relevant. So that's why it's a 4 count. 3 Night Stretcher for obviously general purpose recovery. 2 Wondrous Patch, very good card in this list. It powers up both Latias, Monkey Dory, and Scream Tail. So in a pinch, we can get multiple attackers going using Wondrous Patch plus Crispin and Energy Switch. Not a bad idea, and it actually pretty worked. Well, it worked pretty well, especially in game 2 towards the end there, where we was able to Wondrous Patch the previous turn to the Scream Tail. There was able to Night Stretcher, Energy Switch off the Teal Mask that we obviously used, and go from there really. 1 Terra Orb, obviously if you are going to play more Terras for this sort of approach, probably play this at a 2 count, really good card. Unfair Stamp, I didn't get to play mine, my sister did. I only really suffered the occasional knockout, so this card didn't really come up. So, just how it is. Then, of course, 1 Air Balloon, 3 Area Zero, which obviously I got all of them bounced in game 2, but it didn't matter in the end, thankfully. 6 Grass, 3 Psychic, 1 Dark. I will say, the only thing that I didn't, I wish I did do was get to use Scream, because I'll never use this card again. I would love to have used Scream to obviously stop, Crispins, Lilies, Bosses, Serrano if it came up. Same with Brox, but it didn't come up, unfortunately, and I didn't get to use it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to lose sleep over that, and I'm definitely not going to lose sleep over playing this card again because I really don't want to, because this card was awful. And yes, obviously I did have the weakness advantage, which I'm sure my sister's going to bring up in a moment. But yeah, this still didn't feel very fun, and that's kind of why, like, the legendary dex has been changed going forward, and we might even end up cancelling the series if I deem it necessary to do so. Because obviously the whole point is we want to be having fun when we do decks like this, and this was not it. But that's something we can discuss off camera. But anyway, sis, what did you think to the deck?
I mean, it did what it needed to do, right? Do I need to say any more? Yeah, the Scream Tail is really bad. Don't play it. There are much better attackers out there that you can use in this style of deck.
Clefairy.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
I could have played a Clefairy and been mean, but I thought, nah, I want to actually, try something a little different. And that's why I went with Iron Leaves as my backup attacker. I was like, I don't really want to play a Psychic backup attacker. Because, you're already having it rough facing a Psychic Pokemon. And Iron Leaves is basically a built-in energy switch, so I thought, why not? And I only played a one of because I didn't really see the reason to play more than one Iron Leaves, but the deck did what it needed to do, as you said. And yeah, if you are going to play this card, which I heavily suggest not doing so, put more terrors in. Optimize the list a little bit more. I definitely did not optimize this list properly. I was in a bit of a rush because it is getting quite late in UK time, but I didn't want to waste too much time thinking about it. Obviously, having Ultra Balls would have made it a lot easier to find my monkeys, my Noctowls, things like that. But yeah, I'm not going to really put too much more thought into it because this card is awful and should never be played. So we're going to go take a look at my sister's deck list, and we'll see you in a moment.
So I'm not going to waste your time and tell you why I put every card in this deck, because I built this deck more around sort of Blood Moon Ursaluna than I did the Lucario EX, because free energy for 120 when you know that your opponent is resistant and all that. It just, and there's not too many damage modifiers other than Premium Power Pro to go on. You could argue that I could have put in Max Belt as well, but really, what more could I have done with this card? Which is why I kind of went towards, the Blood Moon, obviously Soul Rock Lunatone. Obviously, we discussed in the video about maybe using the new Bob Aracle, but I don't think it would have solved this at all. Yeah, I basically... And the Ting Lu thing, by the way, I don't think I could have played that any differently, because I couldn't draw into the Risky Ruins to do anything, and I couldn't find my second monkey. There was just a few things that obviously didn't go my way, but also at the same time, the Lucario is just such a bad card. Yeah, you can probably tell from as the video progressed that I just really didn't enjoy this.
The
As
tone of your
much as
voice as
the
well.
yeah, as much as the list, and I'm also really tired. I've had a long day, and as much as I built the list as good as I can. I've got the consistency with Crispin, I've got the draw with Lilies, I've got Gus, I've got recovery with Lana's Aid to reuse Blood Moon, and I've got all the damage modifiers and all the sort of consistency cards in Gong and Pad and Ball and Stretcher, and even throwing in some E-Switch if I need to. I just didn't really enjoy playing this deck at all, and yeah, I wouldn't advise playing this Lucario EX. I would just play the Mega, even if the format is running around with lots of Clefairy boxes. But if you wanted to play a Lucario deck, you'd just play that one instead of this. 120 does nothing in the grand scheme of things,
Especially
with an
when,
EX.
and also resistance as well. You're doing 90 damage for 3 energy. Even with 3 Premium Power Pros, you still fall short. You fall short by 10 in that scenario if you're using 3 Power Pros. which, resistance is a thing in Pokemon, and obviously we've all had to get used to it, but a lot of the time resistance isn't too relevant. Obviously, Sprigatito, when obviously we did that one, Sprigatito versus Melmetal, I had the resistance problem, but the difference was that I was actually doing damage, even though I was just plinking at that Melmetal. The difference was that my system wasn't even doing any damage most of the time. We got 8 tails in a row, which I still think, one of the most ridiculous things we ever had happen in one of our episodes. But obviously, this is the end of the worst EXs series, and I must admit, I think we've ended it on a low point. But obviously, most of the X's that have been revealed recently, like Kamalian, that's at least usable in the Wheel of Pain. What's another one? Lapras, I have an idea for that if that comes up. There's the new Yveltal, or Yveltal if you want to call it that. So yeah, we're going to move on to greener pastures, is what I'm trying to say here. We're glad to be rid of these EXs that are so bad. If we'd have left these on the Wheel of Pain, we would have been even worse in terms of moods. Especially if you got something like Lucario EX against, I don't know, let me think of something. I don't know. What's his face? Salamence, for example. What's the Lucario going to do against Salamence? You have to pop 2 Power Pros just to 2-shot it. What are you going to do when he's just going Dragon Impact, Dragon Impact, Dragon Impact, and there's nothing you can do? So, yeah, I think we're both pretty happy to be rid of this series, even though it was another win for me. But, I don't just focus on the wins. I actually focus it on both sides. Did we both enjoy it? And, I didn't really enjoy, the way these matches turned out. Obviously, it was just by pure coincidence that my backup attacker could deal with the Blubber Ursaluna. But, yeah, we are happy to be rid of this series, I think. And obviously, if you have any series suggestions in, the comments below and stuff like that, do let us know. But going forward, obviously, the worst EXs will no longer be featured on this channel. And of course, the Legendary Dex Wheel episodes will probably be cancelled from point onwards. But anyway, we'll leave it all to it for today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing Lucario EX Lucario EX from Stellar Crown take on Scream Tail from Twilight Masquerade. And with that, we'll leave it all to it, and we'll see you next time.